Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe here and welcome back to another CSGO commentary where the gameplay is crappy and the commentary is snappy. Bam! Let's do this thing. Today's episode, guys, episode 10 is going to be all about respect. It's something that I've really been adamant about, something that it has a lot to do with everyday life. And mind if there's little silences and everything. I just don't have enough time to edit this video, so it's gonna be all one take. Let's do this thing, guys. So respect, you know what it is. Respect is obviously something that is a little bit, I don't know the full definition, but let's kind of bring up a situation like respect, or I one thing that I really want to talk about is the butterfly effect. It's basically similar to Newton's third law, but more psychological. So Newton's third law of motion basically states for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, and what that means is, to the butterfly effect psychologically, every decision that you make has a consequence or a reaction. But there's also something about the butterfly effect that a lot of people really don't understand. So every decision, your life is made on decisions, no matter if you want to turn your head to the left or to the right, if you want to raise your hand about a question that you don't understand. Everything that you do in your life is going to affect how the outcome in the future will be. So what I mean by that is, if I were to be struggling on a question and I don't have enough confidence to ask a question on why I don't understand how to take the derivative of 2x squared plus 9, I just don't know how to do that, right? Which is actually 4x, just so you know. Anyways, I don't have enough confidence. I'm not a person with enough confidence to raise my hand and ask about 2x squared plus 9. What is that derivative? How do you do that, right? And as somebody who has a lot of confidence, it's really easy for me. Hey, I don't understand. But that person who doesn't have that confidence, how are they going to really how are they going to know? They're going to have to do a lot of work. They're going to have to be on that grind. And then when the day comes that you have to turn in your homework assignment, somebody might be, as me, I would be hey, I know how to do it. I'll lay it off. I'll procrastinate. But as somebody who doesn't know it, they're going to actually work hard, and they're, going to actually try and find out how that problem is, because if they want to feel like they want to know that answer, and they want to know how to do it, if that makes sense. But having the respect for somebody's decision making is huge, because if that not so confident person was to raise their hand and somebody's hey, questioning inside their head, why are they raising their hand? There's a lot behind it. There's a lot of decision making and a lot of neurological science that goes with that. There's a lot of decisions being made all at once. Whether if I want to tap my foot, chew my gum, and raise my hand all at the same time, that is all my decision. I might as well just want to tap my foot and be anxious about raising my hand. I can not raise my hand. I can not chew my gum. And there's a lot of decision making. But what really people don't understand is the decisions you make affect your life. That's what I want to point out. But there's also the decision that you don't make, and that is the decision of not raising your hand or raising your hand. And I want to bring up that scenario of that person who is so confident, or imagine somebody who just is a stereotypical know-it-all. Is the respect of having a stereotypical know-it-all going to affect their decision making? Yes. And I know there's an argument for both, but my answer is yes. If somebody's going to stereotype you as a mathematical genius and you raise your hand about a question or that you don't know, or the answer and you want to say it, somebody's going to be oh, he knows the answer. That's what he's raising his hand for. But the respect behind that is, being quiet. And if you have something that you need to know, you got to be respectful and mindful that somebody might have the same answer and you can work together. And obviously there's a lot of steps that further in the case, but thinking about, what about if his hand's up because he doesn't know? Are you going to be whoa, why does he not know the answer? If he doesn't know the answer, I'm not going to know the answer. But respect isn't just to somebody else or something else. It's to yourself. Are you going to go through life being undermining yourself from others' beliefs and others' reality. Like me being a guy who is really mathematically skilled and just talented, a lot of people think of me as this guy who they can always come to for math. But in all reality, like sometimes I don't know the answer. Sometimes I just don't. Think of a social studies teacher who doesn't know what the molecular bonds are of a carbon dioxide, like how is he going to know? Obviously he's not, it's not tied to him or her, the teacher or somebody who is historically talented and historically written. But if you're thinking about somebody who is very science intelligent and somebody who knows the periodic table by heart and knows all the amounts of atoms and protons and neutrons and electrons inside that atom, like, are you going to go to somebody who doesn't know or somebody who knows? Like, are you going to undermine yourself from somebody's skill? Like, are you going to actually try and work yourself to the top like a ladder or like a pyramid or the totem pole? Like, me personally, I feel like every single day I work up that totem pole for something that makes me feel bad. I might rehearse it. I might work out scenarios. I'm going to think about, what about if I didn't ask that question? Like, a lot of people are realizing that every decision is two outcomes. One that you didn't make and the one that you made. So you got to think about that into a respectful standpoint. A lot of things go into decision making. Like, especially as a leader, I have to not be so judgmental and so quick to judge about somebody's outfit, uniform. Like, why are they talking like that? Why is their hair like that? Why do you wear a hat? For me, I get criticized for not having a lot of, matching colors. But in my eyes, I'm just putting on clothes. You got to think about that comment, you don't match. Think about that. That has a lot of weight to it. That has a lot of, hurtness to it. Like, and as a person who isn't very judgmental and thinks and reasons out a lot of things, especially rationally, I'm thinking about, well, if I were somebody who isn't fortunate to have a lot of clothes, am I going to be tied to be like, hey, it's fine, you don't match, I understand. But for somebody who has a lot of clothes, am I held to a standard that I need to match because I am more economically wealthy? Does that make sense, guys? Like, leave in the comments down below if that makes sense, the economically wealthy part. Anyways, well, think about it this way. If I'm talking about somebody who isn't, so athletically drawn, think about that. And somebody who is very talented is obviously, like, if you want to do better, like, and if you're very passionate about something, somebody's going to be like, hey, you need to work harder. Are you going to be that person who is working the hardest, wanting to get better? But if you're thinking about somebody who isn't so athletically driven or talented, are they going to work as hard? Like, is there a respect thing? Like, hey, maybe it's my opinion, I don't really like this sport, I'm not going to put my best effort in. Or are you going to be like, hey, I want to get better, I'm going to put a lot of work and time into what I want to do, and I want to get better, I want to show people that I can do this, I want to defy the stereotypes, I want to defy the odds. May the odds be ever in your favor. And that line that ever, like, I forget her name, but the lady from Hunger Games, the odds may ever be in your favor. Like, that is very true in real life. And I know that I'm going on for 9 minutes of just rambling, but hear me out. Respect is something that you need to think about, and especially when you're coming to conclusions inside your own head, I want you to reason out, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? No matter if it takes a split second. Or imagine if you have a question that's kind of, there's a lot of people on this topic. Think about it. There's a book that we're reading called Into the Wild, which is about a guy named Christopher McCandless, and he basically, from the very moment that we learn, is he left his family, he left everything that he owned, and he went up to Alaska and he died. Somebody who would read that, they're like, wow, he's crazy. But if I'm going into that conclusion not knowing why he did that, he might not be so crazy. If after reading 15 chapters of where we are now in my English class, I've realized that maybe he's not such an idiot. I knew the story beforehand. It's very sad, and obviously it's something that could have been prevented multiple times throughout reading the book. And even the author thinks that it was merely an accident on why and how he died in Alaska. Is it due to ill preparedness? Maybe. But the respectfulness of somebody's intelligence and ego and self-esteem all ties together into something that is beyond somebody's belief. Even my belief. I know I'm the one talking about this, but I still don't understand a whole lot of things in this world. Do I know, like, if there's aliens, am I going to think that somebody who, you know, believes in aliens is crazy? No, I fully believe that there is something out there. Obviously, if you think I'm crazy, don't worry. Like, I'm not like this crazy stereotypical guy. Or somebody who is a musician, like, oh, they're a band geek, they're an orca dork. Like, that means that they're not going to be a part of our posse. They're socially awkward. You're putting a stereotype on somebody's beliefs. Even if they want to try and fit into society, you're already undermining what they want to be without even them given the chance. Nobody is given a chance if you already disregarding what they want. And I know this is a very strong topic, but I want you as a viewer, as a nationer, as whoever you are in this world, I want you to think about what you are doing when you are rationally thinking about what your decision making is and the respect that everything you say has. If you were to think about somebody who is very popular, if you think of them as, you know, an idol, but what about if they don't want the spotlight? What about if they don't want the spotlight and it's hard for them to tell other people that they don't want the spotlight? Think about it. Try it out. You know, you never know what somebody might do if you just give them a chance. No matter if that is taken away from what they already are or giving them a chance of what they want to be. So as Jared, I'm Jared. Joru, a lot of people tell me, like, what's Joru mean? There's a lot of stuff, like, people come to conclusions very fast, and learning from experience, like, I wear my merch at school. People are like, whoa, that's kind of cool, but it's kind of weird that you wear your own merch at school. Okay, think about it my way. I'm just wearing a shirt. It's my own merch. I take passion in what I do. So if you're already going to take away what I want to do as a living and what I want to do in the future, and you're just going to be like, hey, you know, that's kind of weird that you're wearing your own merch at school. Like, think about that. Think about what you are doing to that person that you are saying that to. Think about what I think. Like, people have criticized me on the socks I wear. Two green socks that I put on my own 2 feet with slide-ons. Like, not flip-flop slide-ons, but just like slide-in shoes that are covered. And somebody's going to tell me they don't like my socks. Or like, what's wrong with your socks? I don't see what's wrong with my socks. They're not inside out. They're perfectly fine. They're green. I'm wearing socks. Just be thankful that I'm wearing my socks and not rubbing my toes in front of your face. Okay? You know how much that makes me want to actually do that? I know I'm kind of rambling on about this conclusion for 5 minutes, but I want you to think about every decision that you make, no matter if it's a positive, if it's a negative. Somebody might think the equal or opposite of that. Somebody might think that a positive comment is maybe not so positive, you know? Something that I've learned is my mom works at my school, but I really realized that nobody really thanks me or even acknowledges me. And I know that this kind of already seems selfish, but every time there's something positive that you say about my mom, oh, I love your mom, you know, she's the greatest, you know. But every time there's negative, they always come to another person, a secondary person, a primary person who will spend every day of their life with them. And I don't understand that. I just don't get why somebody would be so negative to another person when it's not their fault. Like, if my mom kicks somebody out of class, are you going to come crawling to me like, hey, your mom's a B, you know, like, why are you coming to me about that? Go tell her. Like, that is not my problem. Like, I feel like as people, as humans, we just don't know the full reality of things. Like, we just can't stick up for ourselves. We can't ask, like, hey, why are you doing that? Like, I don't think we should jump to conclusion. I think we should ask questions, okay? 15 minutes of talking. Hopefully you all enjoyed today's video. One thing that I want you to take from this is just remember what you're doing. every reaction or action has an equal or opposite reaction. So just make sure that you're carefully evaluating. I know that's a strong word and a lot of time, but just rationalize about why you're saying that and why you have said that, and the effects. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, hopefully you smash that like button and subscribe today. For more of these, every Friday, I'm going to try and do this all of December on, the 1st, 8th, 15th, and 22nd. 22nd, I won't do this. I have a 24-hour live stream, so make sure to check that out. I will see you guys in the next one. Hope y'all had a good one. Peace. Something that I've learned is I say y'all, and I'm not from the South. I've been to the South, I'm not from there. But people think y'all is just not right for me. But I like it. You feel?